This lesson is about expressions and equations and the use of both of these when problem solving in algebra. We're going to include some terminology as well. Firstly, to simplify the following expressions, there's a couple of things we can do. Firstly is to collect like terms. In this first expression we have constant term 13 and subtract 8. So this simplifies to 5. And then we have plus 7d and plus 3d, so that's plus 10d. The next thing we can do when simplifying is to expand brackets. So in the second example, 3n take 2 expands to 3n take 6 plus 5 times 3 is 15, and then 5 and negative 2n, so that's subtract 10n, and then we can collect like terms as before. So 3n take 10n, that's negative 7n, take 6 plus 15, that's plus 9. Next I'm going to evaluate a couple of expressions, and for these examples we're going to take the value of x to be 3 and the value of y to be 7. To evaluate means to find the value of. So in this first example, 4y when y is 7, that's 28. Take 3x when x is 3, that's 9, plus 12, and that's 31. Secondly, 4x squared means 4 lots of x squared. So if x is 3, x squared is 9, and 4 lots of x squared is 36. Take 9 lots of 7, and then take 3 times 7, xy, when x is 3 and y is 7, that's 21. So the answer to this is negative 48. So that's a couple of things that we can do with algebraic expressions. We can simplify them by collecting like terms or by expanding brackets, and we can evaluate them when we know the value assigned to the variables. Next we're going to look at equations. The difference between an expression and an equation to look at is the fact that there's an equal sign in an equation. So you see in the expressions they're collections of terms with addition and subtraction. In an equation we have an equal sign, and usually when we have an equation we are being asked to solve the equation or to find the solutions of the equation. So in these examples we have some suggestions in brackets as to what the solutions might be. If we look at this first one, 2m plus 14 equals 7m take 6. Well, if we take m to be 0 to start with, 2m is 0 plus 14 equals 7m is 0 take 6. 14 equals negative 6. No, these two are not equal. Therefore m equals 0 is not the solution. Next we'll try m equals 2. 2m when m is 2 is 4 plus 14 equals 7m. That would be 14 take 6. So this is 18 equals 8. They are not equal. So we'll try m equals 4. 2m is 8 plus 14, and 7m when m is 4, that's 28, take 6. 8 plus 14 is 22, and 28 take 6 is also 22. So we've found our solution. We'll just try m equals 5 as well. 2m is 10 plus 14 equals 7m, it's 35, take 6. So 24 equals 29, they are not equal. So the solution here is m equals 4. Now I'd like you to pause the video and try example number 2. Substitute in the values of -5, -2, 2 and 4 for x here to see if you can find the solution. So starting with x equals -5, 2 take 5 times -5 is 2 take -25, and then 2 outside the bracket means 2 multiplied by the bracket, so this is 2 times, and then -5 take 6 is -11. 2 take -25 is 27, and 2 times -11 is -22. So these are not equal. Next we have x equals -2. So 2 take 5 times -2 is -10 equals 2 times -2 take 6, that's -8. 2 take -10 is 12, and 2 times -8 is -16. So they are not equal. X equals 2 gives 2, take 5 times 2 is 10, and then 2 multiplied by 2 take 6 is -4. 2 take 10 is -8, and 2 times -4 is also -8. So there's our solution. But we'll just check x equals 4 as well. 2 take 20 equals 2 times 4 take 6 is -2. So this is -18 equals -4. They are not equal. So there's our solution, x equals 2. Now usually when you're solving equations, you're not given a selection of possible answers. But the very simplest equations can be solved by inspection, which means you can just look at them and see what the answer is. So I'd like you to pause the video again and write down what you think the solution to each of these 4 equations is before you check your answers with me. In number 1, x plus 5 equals 12, so that means that x is 7. 4y equals 20 means that y is 5. M divided by 7 is 3, so m is 21. And a take 7 equals 8 means that a equals 15. Now those skills of simplifying and evaluating expressions and solving equations are the foundations of problem solving using algebra. So I've got some fairly simple problems here, and we're going to write down a couple of expressions and solve a couple of equations that demonstrate how to use algebra to symbolise an expression written in words or to find a solution to a fairly straightforward problem. So in the first 2 examples, we're writing down an expression for the sentence. Firstly, 7 more than double a number. If we say that the number is x, then double that number is 2x, and 7 more than double that number is 2x plus 7. Secondly, we've got half the sum of a number and 6. I'm going to use n to represent that number this time. The sum of the number and 6 means n plus 6, and a half of that means that the whole thing is divided by 2. Next we have the product of a number and 6 is 54. So the product of a number and 6, if we let the number be represented by x, the product of that number and 6 is 6x, and we're told that the product of the number and 6 is 54. So this is now an equation which we can solve. If 6x is 54, that means that x must be 9. And finally we have a rectangular shed which is 7 metres longer than it is wide, we're told that the perimeter is 58 metres, and what's the width? So because we're looking for the width in this case, I'm going to say that our variable is w, let w be the width, and I'm going to use a diagram because it's often easier to visualise a problem if you convey the information using a diagram. So I've got w for the width, then the length is 7 metres longer than the width, so that's w plus 7. And then the perimeter is 58 metres, so we've got 2 widths of w and 2 lengths of w plus 7. All together we've got 4w plus 14, and that equals 58. So the 4w must equal 44, and that makes w 11 metres.